So this is the investment in debt securities. In some books, these are commonly called as investment in bonds. Okay? Please have your full attention with this topic kasi kung mahihirapan tayo dito, mahihirapan din tayo sa bonds payable. Okay? So, let's recap. Nasaan tayo? Nandito tayo sa investment at amortized cost. Ang sabi natin last time, under PFRS 9, all investment in debt security should be properly classified. And the proper classification should be based on the business model. If the business model is to collect contractual cash flows or to collect principal and interest until the maturity of the investment, that should be properly classified as investment at amortized cost. The business model here is to collect contractual cash flows without a plan to sell the investment. And that is the initial business plan of the entity. To collect contractual cash flows or to collect principal and interest on the outstanding principal balance. Walang investment at amortized cost sa equity securities. Why? Kasi class, wala naman tong interest. Again, to collect contractual cash flows, to collect principal and interest on the outstanding principal balance. And interest is only associated with debt securities. Kaya purely ang investment at amortized cost nasa debt securities lang. Okay. So let's now dive to the main topic. Ang investment in bonds, ang ebidensya na meron kang investment ay isang bond indenture. Parang sa certificate of deposit. If you have a certificate of deposit, that is an evidence of time deposit. Sa investment in bonds, ang ebidensya niyan ay bond indenture. Ano ang makikita mo sa bond indenture? Makikita mo yung face amount ng bonds. Yung face amount ng bonds, yan yung pangako sa'yo na matatanggap mo at the maturity of the investment. Okay? And the initial measurement of the investment in bonds, investment at amortized cost, that should be at present value and subsequently measured at amortized cost. Okay. So, hindi tayo magko-compute dito ng present value factor. Kung magkano mo nakuha ang bonds, yan ang present value niyan. Let's have scenario number 1. The face amount of the bonds is 100. Okay, pangako sa iyo at maturity, you will be receiving 100 pesos. Nakuha mo lang ng 90 pesos. Okay? So meron kang discount na 10 pesos. Ang pangako sa yung matatanggap mo at maturity ay 100, nabili mo lang ng 90 pesos, meron kang discount. Question number 1, chat box please. If you are the investor, ano sa tingin mo ang nangyari? Meron ka bang gain or loss on the transaction? G or L lang sa chat box. Okay. That is a gain on the part of the investor. However, that gain cannot be recognized as an outright gain. What is now the accounting treatment of that gain? That should be amortized as an addition to interest income over the term of the bonds using the effective interest method of amortization. Okay? Let's now go to scenario 2. The face amount of the bonds is 100, pangako sa iyo at maturity, you will be receiving 100 pesos. However, nakuha mo siya. The present value is 115. So there is a 15 difference and that 15 is what you call the premium on the bonds. Okay. That premium is a loss on the part of the investor but cannot be recognized as an outright loss. That should be amortized as a deduction to your interest income over the term of the bonds using the effective interest method of amortization. That premium is a loss of the investor but cannot be recognized as an outright loss but should be amortized as a reduction to your interest income over the term of the bonds using the effective interest method of amortization. Scenario 3. Tanong, paano kung ang face amount ng bonds ay 100 at makukuha mo din sa halagang 100 pesos? Ibig sabihin, walang discount or premium. Okay? Ang pangako sa'yo, 100 piso, nakuha mo rin sa halagang 100 piso, walang discount or premium. Ang tanong, if you are the investor, will you invest in this kind of bonds? Yes or no? Ayusin natin, class. Ang problema minsan, kaya tayo nahihirapan sa pag-solve ng mga ganitong problem because of the substance. Okay? Yung concept behind. Kung sinasabi natin na hindi tayo mag-i-invest sa ganitong scenario number 3, ano sa tingin mo yung mga nag-i-invest sa premium at a premium, nagbabayad ng mas malaki kaysa sa pangako? O, di ba? O, ganito yan, class. What is the substance behind this kind of investment? Nag-i-invest ang investor sa bonds or debt securities not primarily on the discount or premium, but on the related interest income na kikitain nila. Okay? Sa isang bonds class, there are two rates na makikita ka, interest rates. One is the nominal rate or the stated rate, and the other one is the effective rate. Let's have scenario 1. Sa scenario 1, let's say, ang stated rate ay 10%. Nakalagay sa bond indenture at maturity, makakatanggap ka ng 100 pesos at makakatanggap ka rin ng 10% interest on a regular interval, let's say annually, in a period of 10 years. Let's say 10 years ang bonds. Okay? Diyan sa stated rate or nominal rate, diyan mo makukuha yung isang interest income mo. This is the interest income. Let's say the stated rate is 10%. So dito yun manggagaling. Ang interest income mo, panggagalingan niya, yung sinabi niyang stated rate na 10%. So that is what? That is 100 times 10%. So this is 10. Okay? Nga lang, hindi pa yan ang total interest income mo. Because of this discount amortization, which is a gain on the part of the investor, but cannot be recognized as an outright gain, that should be amortized as an addition to your interest income over the term of the bonds. Ibig sabihin, because of this gain na 10 pesos, ang total interest income mo hindi lang manggagaling sa stated rate. Magkakaroon ka pa rin ng income coming from the discount amortization. So if that is 10 years, that is 10 divided by 10, so meron pang 1 dito. So the total interest income in this kind of transaction number 1, that is 11 pesos. 10 coming from the stated rate plus the discount amortization of 1, and that is 11. Let's now go to item 2, premium. Bakit sir, may bumibili pa ng bonds ng mas malaki kaysa sa face amount? Bakit hindi na lang yan humanap ng at par with 100 or mas mababa? Kasi pag in-issue ang bonds, may hangganan yan. Let's say ang in-issue lang ay 2 billion bonds. Okay? Let's say ang equivalent ng isang bond ay 100,000 pesos. Mapupuno yan eh. Mapupuno. Okay? So kahit na gusto mo pang mag-invest, sarado na eh. Siguro gawa tayo ng analogy. Halimbawa, concert. Ayan, concert. Ano ba yung latest? Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars concert, Philippine Arena. May maximum capacity ang Philippine Arena. Ibig sabihin, The number of tickets to be printed should correspond to the maximum capacity of the Philippine Arena. Let's say sold out na ang ticket. Okay? Let's say ang halaga ng isang ticket, sabihin natin 20,000 pesos. Sold out na. Ibig sabihin, kung gusto mong manood, hindi ka na makakabili. Paano ka ngayon makakapanood doon sa concert ni Bruno Mars? Humanap ka ng nakabili ng ticket. Pero I doubt na ibebenta sa iyo yun sa halagang 20,000 pesos din. Lalagyan nyo ng premium. Okay? So gagawin niya, for example, 25,000 na. Lalagyan na ng premium yung ticket na yon. Ganon din sa investment in bonds. Puno na yung 2 billion na sinabi ko kanina. Gusto mong mag-invest, humanap ka na nakabili. Pero I doubt na ibebenta sa iyo yan sa halagang 100 pesos din. Lalagyan nila yan ng premium para win-win situation. Bakit naging win-win situation? One, outright, yung nagbenta, meron siyang marirecognize na 15 ka agad. Pero bakit mo nga bibilihin, sir? Di ba patalo tayo dyan? Di ba, sir, may loss ka dyan? Ganito, class. Hindi ka nag-i-invest solely for premium or discount. Tingnan mo. Let's say the term of the bonds is 10 years. Okay. And the stated rate annually is 10%. O, dito tayo. Dito ka tumingin. So, sa stated rate, that is 10% times 100, meron kang 10 dito. Pero you will not enjoy the whole 10 pesos interest income. Kasi nabili mo at a premium, which is a loss on the part of the investor, that should be amortized as a reduction to interest income over the term of the bonds. So yung 15 na yan, okay, over the term of the bonds, let's say 10 years, divided by 10 years, 1.5. So you will not be enjoying the whole 10 pesos as your total interest income. Mababawasan niya ng 1.5. So your total interest income is 8.5. Okay? Ibig sabihin, class, kahit na binili mo at a premium, at the end of the day, panalo ka pa din. Why? Because you are enjoying a total interest income on a regular basis annually at 8.5. That is why pwede kang mag-invest at a premium. Okay? Because your main intention as an investor in debt securities is to generate interest income. Let's go back to scenario 3. Kung ang face amount ng bonds ay 100 pesos at nabili mo lang ng 100 pesos, walang discount or premium, the same question as I asked earlier. As an investor, will you invest in this scenario number 3? Yes or no? The answer now would be a solid yes. Why? You are not investing because of discount or premium. If you want to account the total interest income, let's say the stated rate is 10%, okay? So that is 100 times 10%. So that is 10. And that 10 will no longer be adjusted because there is no such thing as discount or premium. That 10 pesos will now be your total interest income. Okay? There are two kinds of rates given in a certain bond problem. One is the stated rate or the nominal rate, and the other one is the effective rate. The effective rate, class, that is the true and actual interest income that the bond holder earns. Siguro mas maganda itong ipaliwanag kapag may problem na. The effective rate is also called market rate or yield rate. The stated rate is also called your nominal rate. Okay? So let's have now your first problem. Okay? Please get your handout.